Hey guys, Dr. Stephanie here, and today we're talking about lateral hip pain. So pain that's on the side of your hip, kind of in this area. It could be also kind of deep in your butt or run down the side of your leg here. And that can have a lot of different causes. One main thing that it's called is greater trochanteric pain syndrome or trochanteric bursitis. And that's just because the greater trochanter is kind of this bony prominence on the side of your hip here, and that's part of the femur, this long bone here. And there's a bursa there, kind of in that area, that can get inflamed or irritated and cause pain. But we're just going to talk about any pain you have in that area. So it may be caused by that bursitis, but it may be caused by other things too. All of the exercises I'm going to show you today will help kind of build strength in the muscles around that area and reduce pain. So no matter what the cause, if you have pain in the side of your hip here, these exercises will help you. So I'm going to go through 5 exercises that you can start doing, and these will work on building strength in your hip and in your glutes, and also work on balance and just work on overall strength. So the stronger you are, the less stress will be put on certain areas like your knees, ankles, feet, even hips and low back. So in general, it's important to strengthen muscles so that you don't get overuse injuries, so that you don't put more stress on certain joints than you need to. So we're going to work on overall strengthening, but we're also going to really focus on that hip so we can take that stress away from that kind of the outside there and reduce pain in that area. So all you need is 1 yoga block. If you don't have a yoga block, you can use maybe 2 books stacked on top of each other. You can use a stair or a step if you have one. And you can also do these without this, but this helps a little bit for some of the exercises. So what we're going to start with is a hip hike. So this is an exercise that I like. It's very minimal movement, but it does a lot of good. It really works on those hip muscles. So I'm going to show you without holding on, but if you need to hold on to something, definitely do that. So you can do it against the wall if you want to, or next to a counter. Basically, you're going to start with this leg straight that you're standing on the yoga block or book or whatever you have, and the other leg toe down. And you're just going to hike this hip up as high as you can and then back down. So you want to keep the knee on this leg that's on the yoga block straight. And you just want to hike your hip up and back down, up and back down. So just hike up and down. You want to do 2 to 3 sets of 10. And then you can, if your pain is only on one side, then the side you want to do this on is so if this is my painful side, I want to be standing on the block on that side. But usually I just recommend doing it on both sides anyway. So then you go to the other side, hike up your hip, back down, hip up, back down. And 2 to 3 sets of 10. And again, if you need to hold on, that's definitely okay. All right, then for the next one, we're going to use this block again. So place a foot on the block and a foot off, feet a little bit wider than shoulder width apart. And we're going to do an offset squat. So you're just going to squat and come back up. So I like doing a squat this way because it forces you to kind of sit back more, and it forces you to go a little bit deeper. Now, if you can't go that deep, that's okay. Just start with a mini squat and work your way down. But this helps work on quad strength, glute strength, and it just puts you in a little bit of a different position than a regular squat. So do 2 to 3 sets of 10 of this one. And then we're going to do one more exercise with the block. This one, you're going to stand on the block, and you're going to bend this knee slightly. You're going to tap out to the side, to the back, and then back to the block. Out to the side, to the back, and back to the block, kind of making a triangle. Back and back to the block. So this is working on hip strength and stability, balance, and it's a pretty tough one. So if you need to hold on, you can, but I wouldn't grip on, just kind of use something for balance. You can also try starting on the floor without the block and just doing a tap out to the side, back, and back together. Again, you can do 2 to 3 sets of 10 of this. Just do both sides so we're gaining strength on both sides. All right, then we need 2 more exercises. We're going to get rid of that block for these. So for this next one, we're going to do what's called a curtsy squat or a curtsy lunge. So stand feet about shoulder width apart. You're going to take one foot and bring it behind and squat down and come back up. And then you're going to take the other leg, bring it behind and squat down. Kind of like you're doing a curtsy. So again, this is a different way to do a squat. Kind of work some different muscles, but it's good at improving your balance, also working on hip and glute strength and quad strength. So 2 to 3 sets of 10 on each side. If you're a beginner, you can start on the lower end, do 2 sets of 10, and then gradually work your way up. Okay, so for the last exercise we're going to do is, this is called a fire hydrant or a clamshell standing. And you're going to stand on one leg, bend your knee slightly, bend the other knee to 90 degrees, and then just lift out to the side here. And to make this more difficult, you could add a band around your thighs and then bring it out to the side here. This works on hip strength and balance. And this is one of my favorite exercises. So do 2 to 3 sets of 10, switch to the other side, 2 to 3 sets of 10. So all of those exercises you can do several times a week. I'd probably say at least 3 times a week, but even up to 6 times a week to really work on building your strength, especially in your hips and glutes, and work on balance as well. And that should help get rid of some of that pain that you feel on the outside of your hips.